Say hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Alongside me, back again on Tuesdays. Feels nice to see his lovely face on a Tuesday. It is Bobano. Bobano, how are things over there in Canada?
Things are good, Jose. Absolutely, we were just talking. The Ticats have some life with their CFL
Yep.
season.
We're
The
back.
Yeah, the NFL and college football season is just blistering hot to begin. I can't
Yep.
believe it, how good it's been. Best combined start ever for me in NFL and college football. Just incredible. Hopefully that can keep going, but hopefully that translates and trickles over to baseball tonight because we're struggling to maintain profitability there. So we need a pick me up in the baseball betting board.
Well, hopefully that comes today. I just looked down, Bobano. There's obviously a reason I'm wearing black and yellow, and it's obviously because of your Hamilton Tiger Cats. Come on. Obviously. No, and a lot of retirement today in the NHL. So shout out to PK, Keith Yandel, and my guy, Big Z, Zdeno Charo. And I just did the
Yes.
quick power rankings in my head. Third favorite Bruin all time, Zdeno Chara. Third favorite. First two are obviously Tim Thomas and Tuukka Rask because I love my goalies. I love my goalies. All right, Bobano, let's not waste anyone's time anymore. We're going to get right into the baseball. We're going to try to get these shows to be about 30, 45 minutes because obviously baseball is it kind of takes a back seat to football in this time of year. Get these plays out and all that good jazz. But 2, 3 more weeks, playoff baseball starts. That's when we'll really start
I'll
cooking
be
again.
into it. Oh yeah, baseball regular
Mm-hmm.
season. This feels like it's come on, get the playoffs going. It's not that I'm sick of
Exactly.
baseball. I'm really not. But it's just I'm sick of this. Long, tedious regular season. I'll be into it. I'll be watching it every pitch, every game as much as I can when the playoffs are here. I'm looking forward to it.
That's kind of what I figure as well. So let's get right into Say Hey Plays 153 here with a Red Sox Reds matchup, which is interesting. Red Sox were minus 120 earlier today, now almost 130, or basically 130, I should say. I I'm still kind of scared about the Red Sox at the end of the day. My only lean on this game was the first five under. 4.5 at minus 120 was I didn't get there, and it was one of the only plays I didn't get there with. It was a lean. I do have a girthy list of plays, and we'll talk about each one as we get there. But I couldn't get there with this Red Sox team. One against lefties, it seems like they're the only side of pitcher they can hit. 116 weighted runs created plus in the month of September. 4-6 in their last 10. I think Lodolo's good. I think he could shut out this Red Sox team, but I ultimately don't trust it at the end of the day. A 2-8 Reds team in their last 10 as well. Both these teams aren't really playing for anything either. So it was a pass for me at the end of the day.
Yeah, I have a small bet on Boston here, actually, just because I think Brian Bayo is starting to, look more like a prospect with a high amount of upside. Boston always thought he had. So, the last five starts, he's given up three or less in every start. They still haven't been winning consistently with Bayo on the mound. Like he's pitched well, and they've lost the majority of these starts. But, I'm still seeing a lot of, ups and downs from Lodolo. Lodolo's pitched, pretty good the last three starts, but, Pittsburgh was one of them. Washington was one of them. I don't want to make too much of a big deal out of that in those two starts. So, yeah, I think Boston just because of small price. And more than anything, this is Cincinnati not hitting a lick. And we're talking about the
Mm-hmm.
Reds now favored. And that's a big part of why I'm on Boston here. We're talking about, laying a price with a Reds team. Well, they were. Boston now road favorites here. I still think it's worth it. Boston minus 120, small road favorites here in this game. I don't like the Cincinnati offense at all. And Boston can be shut down. Don't get me wrong, but I'll go with Boston. I don't love it, but I'll go a small play on the Red Sox here.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, and I just try to keep my bias out of it here, and I'm not going to bet the Red Sox anymore this season, anymore. Cubs, Miami Marlins up next. This is a tough game for me. I didn't have any opinion on it, really. Pablo versus Adrian Sampson, both these teams, again, not playing for much. Against righties, both these teams are 86 and 84 weighted runs created plus, below average. Just kind of a blag game, just a definition of a pass game, as like Nut Flush says. When you see these kind of games, it makes it easier to pass when you've got a plethora of football games to bet on and talk about. So an easy pass game for me here, Bobano.
Yeah, I mean, Pablo Lopez has been frustrating this year. Not exactly consistent, not exactly pitching the way we thought he would. Crushed by the Mets just a couple of starts ago. Bounced back though and pitched well against Philly. So he's kind of been all over the place. Hard to track what he's going to do. Samson's actually been solid. I lean Cubs here. I do. Samson's actually 1.59 ERA in his last three starts. You actually compare Samson to Lopez the last three starts. There's not even a comparison. He's got better road numbers than Lopez does at home. So I could make a case for the Cubs here in this spot. In fact, I might. I mean, how are you going to lay $1.60 with this Marlins offense? Now, I know they had 10 runs last night. They came to life, but that's been a rarity, few and far between. The exception rather than the rule has been that 10-run outburst last night by Miami. This is a team that's pretty much not hit a lick for the most part since the All-Star break. So, yeah, I think you could do worse than taking a shot with the Cubs. And in a game like this, two teams well out of it, and in this kind of price range, you're going to see me say dog or pass over and over again, and that's how I feel about this one.
Yep, Pete's right on there with you. Actually, he feels the same way about the Cubs. He took the full game -1 for the Cubs, I believe. So shout out to Pete there. Good game on this next topic, or this next game, I should say. Good one here. Astros Rays. The Astros came through as a little slight underdog yesterday. We talked about if we had to pick a side, there would be the Astros at plus money. I kind of feel that way again here, but they clinched the division yesterday. You know, I talked about this with Peter. Don't know really how I feel about betting on a team the day right after. We'll see how it goes. It's obviously an experienced Astros team that's done this before, but still, I still worry about it. And the Tampa Bay Rays, we'll mention here, 4-6 their last 10. Shane McClanahan's second start off the IL. Half a game up on Seattle, 1.5 games back on Toronto, I believe. So, unless I read that wrong, I'm pretty sure that is accurate. You guys can double check me on that as always. But I need this game. Does it mean they're going to win it? Obviously, no. I think they do. But I ultimately pass. I'll say this. I would bet the over in this game. I have not made that official. Don't think I am. But the over 6 is just crazy low.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy low last night, and I took the over, and 4-0 it ended. So I agree. I mean, I'm not looking to bet an under at this number with two very capable offenses. We didn't see it from Tampa last night, but Javier is one of those pitchers that if there's one guy in the Astros rotation that you might be able to hit a bit, it could be him. Although the last three starts, 3-0, 2.2 ERA, 3.34 ERA on the road. McClanahan just outstanding for the most part still, and the Jays had a chance to really get to him early, and then he settled right in and shut him out in 5 innings. He's not pitching overly deep, but again, we're talking about a pitcher now that's gone 5 starts now, giving up just 4 runs in the last 5 starts combined. And look, this is to me a good fade spot, in my opinion. This is a good fade spot of Houston, that is. They clinched the AL West last night, partying a little bit after the game. It's always the kind of spot I look for here at this time of year. Fade the team that just clinched a playoff spot or a division in the very next game, usually a little hungover. Maybe they give guys a rest, a couple of the starters a rest, so regulars in the lineup. So I could see that tonight. Tampa's not only favored, but they've taken money here, in my opinion, for a very good reason, and I am on Tampa. This is actually one of my stronger sides of the night. I like the Rays here.
Yeah, I felt that same way, and I'm glad that I've got you on today, Bobana, because you've got the experience of betting on this for years and years, and you've seen this. I felt the same way. Just go out partying last night, whatever. Maybe they're just not the same today, and the Rays can take advantage. But I didn't make it official. But
doesn't always work. But I would say more often than not, this is a spot. This is a angle that cashes in.
Okay, beautiful. Well, thank you, Bobano, for giving us that knowledge, and I'll definitely be looking at that going forward as well. Speaking of those Toronto Blue Jays, we mentioned earlier, 1.5 games up on the Rays. They're here against the Phillies today, and a lot of love for the Blue Jays today. I'm on them, but I'm on them -1.5 plus 140. I didn't want to lay the juice of the money line, so I thought if they're going to win this game, I think they can win it convincingly enough. Second against righties this month, 132 weighted runs created plus. I've been the leader of the Blue Jays bandwagon. Bobette, are you on board officially? Are the Blue Jays back in your eyes too?
Yeah, throw out the Blue Jays and Stripling. This is a pitcher I've gone against now a couple of times, Kyle Gibson. I don't like the way he's been going here the last several starts. It's not been pretty. I'm throw it out. that he pitched well last time against Miami. I think Jose could get on the mound and throw a few innings of shutout ball against the Marlins right now. So I don't want to make too much of a big deal right now of what Gibson did in that start, allowing just one run against Miami. Before that, he gets torched by Miami. The guy actually got torched by Miami before that. 4 runs, 9 hits, 5 innings. The first time he faced them, the Giants crushed him. The Mets hit him hard. I mean, it's been a rough month for Gibson. He hasn't pitched as well. Yeah, I like the Jays and Stripling. I'm just going to go full game money line. And the Jays bullpen's rested. They had the day off yesterday, minus 115. And chances are, if you see Jordan Romano late in the game, he's going to be even ultra motivated to pitch well and close out that game because he had a rare blown save on Sunday against Baltimore. So, yeah, I like the Jays here. Nice short price.
Yeah, I still don't trust Jordan Romano. I was always never been a Jordan Romano guy. So I hope he does bounce back for you because definitely closers matter in October. That is something that goes without being said. Detroit, Baltimore next game up, and the Baltimore Orioles probably done. We've mentioned it earlier today. I like the Tigers here. I think this is definitely a Tigers spot. I just couldn't get there at the end of the day. Just betting wise. If I had to pick a spot, money line here, it is absolutely the Tigers. But nothing for me. 4-6 in their last 10. Maybe in a first 5 money line just to avoid the bullpens because Joey Wentz has pitched surprisingly well. 4 innings, 2 earned runs last time, and then 6 2/3 no earned runs against the Royals at the Royals. So I'll take the Detroit Tigers here, but I can't make it official.
I'm telling you what, this Baltimore Orioles team can't hit a lick against left-handed pitching right now. They are absolutely atrocious. That was not a good lefty they played last. What, are you kidding me? Alexander?
Yeah.
And they got completely shut. He was throwing a no-hitter.
Yeah.
Like into the 5th inning or so in that game last night. And reality's setting in now for this Orioles team. You gave it the great fight this year. Really an incredible season. It's already been a good season for this team. Nobody thought that they would be battling for a wild card spot for as long as they were, but it's over. All right. They're too far behind. There's not enough games to make up ground. And I think reality could be sinking in for this team that, hey, we're going to fall short. And I think maybe last night, a blowout loss to the Detroit Tigers. And it's like, it's over for us. And I could see them being a little hungover, a little down in the dumps and tough to bounce back. They're not hitting lefties. Joey Wentz is a lefty. He's pitched well. My one concern is Voth's been great. And the Orioles are 8-0 in Austin Voth's 8 home starts at Camden Yards this year. But I have to go against that here, given the price. They can't be laying $1.90 with the way they're not hitting lefties. I just was so angry I didn't bet Detroit. But I didn't like Alexander. Even with knowing Baltimore was laying big price, that they're falling out of the wild card race, I still couldn't pull the trigger because I didn't like Alexander, and Alexander completely shut them down. And he ain't a good lefty. Wentz is a better lefty. I think we have a very live road underdog. I like Detroit. I'm going to double up Detroit. First 5 full game money line. I'm
going to move on Detroit first 5 money line. I think you've given me enough confidence. And you're right. I was on Baltimore last night. I was on Baltimore first 5 -1. I was like, all right, I like Tyler Wells enough. He can get it done a little bit. And I just need 1-2 runs from the Orioles. Nothing. Alexander shut him down. So I'm right there with you now. I'll take Detroit first 5 money line as an addition today on this show. Let's talk Pittsburgh, New York. I don't have to say much about this game. Easy pass. If anything, if you're a Yankees fan, you want to feel the warm and fuzzies, just keep betting Aaron Judge home run props. Just keep betting it because we all know what's going to happen here in a couple of games. I just hope it doesn't happen against the Red Sox. So it'd be really annoying if it does. Nestor Cortez, I watched his last start in front of my own eyes. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run against the Red Sox, 7 Ks, 2 walk. Pass game for me here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a one where you're going to see Luis Ortiz get another spot start here for the Pirates against Cincinnati. He pitched 5.2 innings, shut him out and allowed just 1 hit. But you're not playing the Reds have not been a good offense now for a long time. You're now not playing them now. You're facing the Yankees. It's a totally different kettle of fish here that you're dealing with. Nestor Cortez, he's been good. I mean, 2 runs or less now in 3 straight starts. He's pitched well for the Yankees. Really pitched solid for them all year. 2.7 ERA, 2.34 ERA here at Yankee Stadium. 16-9 overall in his 25 starts. Are the Yankees 9-3 and Cortez 12 starts at home. Yankees probably win the game, but where's the value? Over under. no opinion because I don't trust Pittsburgh's offense, and I lean under. But Yankees this could be like 7-1, 7-2 type of thing, and then it goes over like they just bomb Ortiz because I can't go crazy about Ortiz pitching well against Cincinnati. This is a totally different, much tougher challenge. So yeah, I'm a pass as well on this one.
Yeah, pass. And what's interesting about this game, or at least about Nestor Cortez, obviously he's blown by his career high in innings, but I don't think that really matters for Nestor because he doesn't throw that hard. He doesn't throw hard. It's all about trickeration and all that stuff. So I definitely would side with the Yankees here if I had to. I just tough. Nestor. I'll agree with not applicable there. Nestor, the best pitcher on the Yankees this year. So shout out to him for being a I don't know, just kind of a surprise pitcher, but good job by him, I guess. Nationals Braves next one up, another minus 300 favorite here. This time we have our friend Patrick Corbin on the bump, and I mentioned it earlier today. We talked about our friend Kyle Wright. Is he going to get to 20 wins? The other side of it is Patrick Corbin going to get to 20 losses? I don't know. But I'll say this, Bobano, I'm starting something, another little experiment, whatever we're calling these gambling things I do. Betting on something for like a span to see how it does. Record-wise, I'm going to start just betting Braves Mets to win every day and see how it keeps rolling. Today, I bet my Braves money line, Mets money line, plus 143 put together. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, the Mets is going to be the more of the concern for today, but we will see how it goes. That's all I got for this game. Bobano, do you have anything on this one?
Indeed, I do. I like over 8.5 here at even money, plus 100. I like it quite a bit, actually. It's probably one of my favorite totals on this board. The one thing, though, is Washington, we know, hasn't always a trustworthy lineup. They've scored just 3 runs the last 2 games, but the Braves continue to just crush the baseball. I mean, you're usually able to bank on at least 5 runs lately, or 4 at least, if not 5 or more from the Atlanta Braves. They've been hitting the ball extremely well. They've scored at least 4 in 4 straight games during this win streak. They've scored 4+. They should do that here against Corbin. Now, Corbin has pitched better. Like, he was just auto fade for the longest time this season. He has pitched a little bit better lately. Braves do well against lefties. We know that. And you look at it overall this season, they've cooled off a little bit lately against lefties, but overall for the season, they've done well. And look, if you look at the track record, Corbin against Atlanta, it's been ugly. I mean, he has been roughed up by the Atlanta Braves repeatedly this year and in years past. Just this year alone, Corbin against the Braves, 6 runs, 9 hits in 5 innings, July 5th, 15th. 4 runs, 8 hits, 6 innings, July 9th. 6 runs, 9 hits, April 22nd. 6 runs, 7 hits last year, August 14th. I mean, he's just been crushed by this Atlanta team. I think they can score there at least 4 or 5. And I think the Nationals, though, even though their offense is a little spotty, they can chip in against old man Morton. Charlie Morton's given up 8 runs in the last 11.2 innings. It's not very good. He's kind of trended downward. In fact, 3 of his last 4 starts, he's been roughed up by St. Louis, by Seattle, by San Francisco. Not pitching as well right now, Charlie Morton. Long season, you wonder if his arm's getting worn down, fatigued a little bit. So put it all together, I think it's a very reasonable total to see these 2 teams eclipse it.
Yep, I know. I agree with you there for sure. Nationals are 6th this month against righties, 123 weighted runs created plus. Over, I've got it at over 8.5 at even money as well. So I definitely like it as well. And we were talking about the aforementioned Mets. Let's talk about them here now against the Brewers here. Minus 120 against Aaron Ashby coming off the IL with a little shoulder. Bullpen day for those Brewers. They're 2.5 games back of Philly. Everyone's already kind of written them off. They're still close. They can still get there. Phillies look good. But I do think the Mets win today because they obviously as well need to keep that 1-game lead on the Braves, So I think that's going to be the storyline to watch for the rest of the year, how these 2 teams go back and forth. They obviously clinched the playoffs as well officially yesterday, the Mets did. First time since, I think, 2016. But I couldn't get there besides the Mets money line, Braves money line parlay for me. I think the Mets just get it done again. What do you think?
Yeah, I lean to the Mets here a little bit. We'll have to wait and see, but I was on them last night with Scherzer. I lean to them again here tonight as they take on Milwaukee again, minus 115, minus 120. I probably will bet it small. Carrasco's been good. Ashby's not been as good. 6 ERA in his last 3 starts. Mets are hitting lefties pretty solid, 272, 6.75 runs per game last 10 for the New York Mets against lefties. And I know people are making a big deal coming into this series while they beat the Yankees. Well, the Yankees are struggling. Won that series. Milwaukee really needs these games because they're fighting for their wild card lives. They're running out of time and they need to get on a red hot streak to get back in it. But, at the same point in time, it's not like the Mets have nothing to play for. They're battling for first in the NL East with Atlanta right now. So these are important games for the Mets, too. They got the better pitcher on the mound. The Mets are not a bad side. I certainly lean in that direction.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. I think all the Mets games down the stretch are going to be interesting. Fade that guy's picks asking about my ROI. I'll be honest, I'm not a math guy, so I have a spreadsheet on Google Docs or whatever it is that calculates all that stuff. It doesn't have ROI, so I don't even know what it is. But I can obviously, if you want to do the math for me, DM me and I can share it with you, so you can let me know because I think that'd be interesting as well. Let's talk LA Angels, Texas Rangers. Shit game. I was gonna say shit pitchers, but I respect Patrick Sandoval enough to not call him a shit pitcher. The LA Angels are actually hitting lefties really hard in September. 142 weighted runs created plus. So another over here would be my lean, but I couldn't get there officially. I probably pass on this game. Just overall. Bobana, what do you think?
There we go. I keep the mute button stuck today for some reason, but there we go. 2.99 ERA. Sandoval's been pretty solid, actually. I like what I've seen. And I always thought he had some potential, and now we're starting to see him pitch really well. 3-start. And look, Yankees tied Cleveland Guardians, 2 of those teams, playoff teams, solid enough offenses, and he's held them to 2 runs or less the last 3 starts. Pablo Sandoval, he's done well. He's pitched well against Texas as well. He's given up 2 runs or less 3 of his 4 career starts. Not a big Cole Reagans fan. 7 runs. He got bombed by Oakland in his last start. Only lasted 4 innings. You mentioned it. The Angels against lefties, they picked up their production of late. A little bit better. 5 runs per game against lefties. The batting average isn't bad. Yeah, I think when you look at this game, Angels took the money for a reason, and this is a huge move. Texas Open a minus 130 home favorite. Now you got the Angels almost laying that much, minus 130, about 20 to 25. I agree with the move fully. I think there's still a playable price here with the Angels.
Yeah, no, I've taken the Angels if I had to pick one. So over in the Angels for us there. Let's talk about a better series in Cleveland, Chicago, White Sox. I've called this the White Sox last stand. This is the season. This is it. 4 games back, 3 games against the Guardians at home. Last 3 games against them for the season. I took the White Sox first 5 minus a half here. Same play the days, White Sox. Ron Crawford, or same play as the days, White Sox first 5. Ron Crawford's on the White Sox full game. We had a lot of discussions about this earlier today. Savali being activated off the IL was something I didn't see earlier today. I wrote it down. Forearm injury in his rehab start, 2 2/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs there. This is it. This is it for the White Sox. I took them here. I think the Guardians win 1 game in this series to just get the job done. But the White Sox need to sweep, and I think that the best player on the bump is on the bump for them today with Dylan C. So White Sox first 5 for me here.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on White Sox first 5 minus a half, minus 120. Minus 1 full game, right around the same price, minus 115, minus 120. I went a little bit safer because you see a lot of 1-run victories. So instead of the minus 1.5 full game run line, I did minus 1 with the full game run line. But this is the guy they want on the mound, right? You need this victory. You need to win this series. You probably need to sweep this series, to be quite honest with you, if you really want to give yourself a realistic shot to get yourself back into the American League Central race. And that's the only way that the White Sox are going to make the playoffs. They're not doing it via the wild card route. It's got to be the division. They're 4 games back. Here's their chance. They sweep this series. They're 1 game back. even if they only win 2 out of 3, they're still 3 games back. So that's why, to me, I think it's very important they sweep this series. And it's got to start with the guy that's been your best pitcher all year, Dylan Cease, who, look, he got into some serious trouble early in that last start that he had, but settled down. It wasn't his best. I think with the way the special season he's had, he knows how big this game is. He's going to bring his best. I really think so in this spot. I know it wasn't always, and again, it was against a weaker Colorado team that he kind of labored in that start, but I think he'll be really ready to go here. We don't know what we're going to get from Savale here off the IL, and his rehab start, most recent one, wasn't that great. So can definitely make the case here. White Sox -0.5 first 5, -1 full game.
No, I think that exact thing, and I agree wholeheartedly. They have to sweep if they want to be in the race. The Guardians cannot win one game, but I think the Guardians do win one game. And I have not looked at pitching matchups for tomorrow, but I assume it is Giolito tomorrow, and I think it is Giolito who will lose tomorrow. So we will watch that very, very closely. I think, obviously, the White Sox are kind of a house of cards, and maybe even it might be Lance Lynn tomorrow. And I don't know, but we'll see exactly how it goes. We'll talk about that game fully tomorrow. Minnesota Twins, Kansas City Royals here. Shout out to Pete Loshak, because this is kind of our play of the day. I always bust Pete balls about the juice he takes and all that stuff. You guys know the drop. So I'll use it here. We're both on Kansas City Royal first 5 team total, over 1.5, -180.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
First 5 team total over 1.5, -180. Shout out to Pete, the juice man. I'm also on Kansas City Royals first 5 money line at -110. I like Zach Greinke. I think he can pitch well down the stretch. I explained it all earlier today. But Banna, what are your thoughts on this game?
Kansas City, first 5 full game split for me. The smaller bet on the over too, but I like the side a lot better because I still think Greinke can sometimes be susceptible, but he's been great at home. You know, Kauffman Stadium has been great to him. There's no question. So you got to believe. I just worry that, that Royals bullpen too is a little shaky. So that's why I still like over 9. And I think the Royals will do damage against Bundy. Bundy's struggled on the road all season long. And look, you could say the one concern is Kansas City's lineup's been pretty bad for the better part of the last month or two. But I think this is a night where we can see Kansas City come to life. And as far as the Twins go, Jose, this is bet against the rest of the season or you leave the Twins alone. I mean, this is thoroughly disappointing. You went out and got Correa in the offseason. You thought you had a team that could at least be in the playoffs, at least be a wild card team. Thoroughly disappointing that they're not going to be a playoff team this year. And I don't trust them to have that, let's finish the season strong kind of mindset with what was kind of expected coming into the season. And suddenly you see this team. I mean, that Cleveland series just destroyed this team. I mean, I think mentally, spiritually, emotionally, that 5-game series where they went 1-4, it's collectively ended their playoff hopes. And now they go on the road for a series against a lowly Royals team. This has sleepwalk. I couldn't give 2 shits about winning a game like this, written all over it, if I'm someone in that Minnesota Twins clubhouse right now. So, they're fade material for me the rest of the season starting tonight.
Yep, I agree with you wholeheartedly there. It's sad. And Carlos Correa is going to opt out most likely too. So all that combine at Minnesota fade train for me for the rest.
Although with Joe Ryan on the mound, anytime he pitches the rest of the season, I may not bet against Minnesota.
It's better pass for sure. I mean, Joe Ryan, I love Joe Ryan, and I wish that bastard Julio Rodriguez wasn't so good to make all my Rookie of the Year's bet live, but he tortured me for the DR against Venezuela in the Baseball World Classic, or I should say the Olympic baseball qualifying when he was like fucking 17 or something like that, and he'll keep torturing me for years to come. Let's talk Giants Rockies here. By the way, Baseball World Classic baseball today, Great Britain versus Spain, a great game. Great Britain came back down like 9-3 last 3 innings, came back to win 10-9. Baseball World Classic, still back. So let's talk Giants Rockies. Easy pass game for me, but since Nufflush is here, I'll keep praising his team total or win total under for the Giants here. I want them to lose every game just for Nufflush. I'd bet the Rockies here just because they're at home and they always find a way to to be over 500 or about 500 at home, and then sub 500 terrible on the road. So that'd be my lean. Both teams aren't hitting though, so a pass game for me.
Yeah, I am on the Rockies here as a small home favorite now in this one. And I was on call. I thought the Giants, they just got swept by the Dodgers, over the weekend. And obviously, that's the one series you'd expect them to still be highly up for. And they just got bombed by the Dodgers. And then you were going to Colorado. I thought it was a great bet against Spot. And unfortunately, Chad Kuhl struggled, and the Rockies bullpen was hideous last night. And San Francisco wins the game. The Rockies hit Junis like I thought they would. But unfortunately, the Colorado pitching was no good. I'm still going to stick to that thought process that I want my money against San Francisco, not on them here down the stretch. Brebbia is only going to pitch an inning, probably. That's the pattern with him. He's only been an opener. Freeland's been great. Part of the reason why I'm on the Rockies tonight is Freeland's pitched really good, really well for the Rockies in his last several starts. That's 4 starts in a row now for him where he's given up 2 runs or less. And even one of those starts where he's struggled for the most part here at Coors Field this year. But one of those great starts in his last 4 did come here in Colorado against a good Milwaukee team. He only gave up 1 run in 6 innings in that start at home against the Brewers. So proof he can pitch well here at Coors Field. And I like his current form. Just bring that road form and bring that form the way you did the last time you pitched here against Milwaukee, and I think the Rockies get the win.
Beautiful. Rockies dub there as well. I'm agreeing with this. I'm glad we're in sync here today, Bobano. It feels good. It feels nice that we are in sync on this day. Mariners, Oakland A's, pass game. Oakland, or I should say Seattle, needs to win these games for just not really seeding or for wild card purposes, because they're probably in. We know that the Orioles are kind of falling back and done, but seeding is important. And I kept saying it. I have to revise and look it over again, but I need the Toronto Blue Jays to face the Yankees in round 2. So I'm rooting for that scenario, whatever that is. I believe it's first or third, but whatever the case is, we'll see how it goes. Luis Castillo, very capable arm. I thought kind of like the first 5 under here, but ultimately couldn't get there. Pass for me here. Bobano, anything on this one?
Yeah, all of a sudden, J.P. Sears has hit the shits here these last 2 starts. Not very good for the lefty here for the Oakland Athletics. And you worry if maybe he's, getting worn down here late in the season. And, Seattle's lineup busted out last game of that series over the weekend against the LA Angels. I think they can carry it over here. I actually, a little pricey at -150 with this, but I ended up going with the Mariners team total over 3.5 here, -150 in this game. Hey, it's still better than laying -215 with Seattle. So you cut the price down, a good amount. Or you could go, if you want some more value, you could go over 4.5 team total plus 115. But I wanted the 3.5. And see if Seattle can get 4 runs here. I think they can do that against Oakland. Like I say, Sears' current form is not as good lately. So I like Seattle team total over 3.5, laid $1.50 on it.
Beautiful. Yeah, JP Sears' last 2 starts have been rough, so I can see why you like it. I can see why you like it there, Bobano. Cardinals, Padres, a kind of tough game. This could be a matchup in the playoffs, depending on seeding, obviously. Wainwright pitched well last time out. Last time was the start. He broke the record with Yachty, so I kind of thought, no duh, of course he's going to pitch well. I could see him struggling here, but I didn't have a side or anything that I liked in this game in particular. Maybe Clevenger bounces back after a 6-run performance, but we'll see here. Bobana, do you have anything on this one?
This one's interesting here with Wainwright and Clevenger. I know it's a Petco Park night game. I like over. I really do. Wainwright's kind of not been as sharp lately. And we know historically Wainwright's better at home at Busch Stadium than he is on the road. Those sharp home road splits haven't been nearly as prevalent this year, but they still exist. I mean, his overall ERA is 3.29. His road ERA is 4.31. So he's still been a little bit worse away from home. And Clevenger, I don't mind fading him. I mean, he's struggled. He's given up 9 runs in his last 8.1 innings against both of them against the Dodgers, which, anyone can, if anyone can make you look bad, it's them. But I just don't think Clevenger's been very economical. He's been victimized by the home run ball. That's been an issue for him. And like I said, when it comes to Wainwright, he'd given up 4 runs in back-to-back starts before the last start against Milwaukee when he gave up 1 run. Although if you watch that last start against Milwaukee, 5 innings, 1 run allowed, pitch count got up because he was in trouble in a lot of innings. He gave up 8 hits in those 5 innings. So really did his best to dance his way out of trouble. And there were ducks on a pond a lot for Milwaukee, and they just couldn't cash in. So makes me think there could be some chances for some big innings here tonight with these two on the mound, the way their current form is. So I like the over a little bit. Lean St. Louis as well. Maybe a small play to St. Louis, but I like the over more than anything.
Yeah, I agree. It's probably an over or pass game for me. I'm not going to huff and puff too much about it. Let's talk about the last half of this doubleheader real quick to end the show here. Obviously, everyone knows I've been betting Dodgers run line for every game they've been doing. I kind of chalked up this first game as a loss. They've kind of left too many people on base, like you mentioned earlier about that previous team. Boban I don't think it was the bases loaded. I think it was man on second and third. Couldn't get any runs on the 8th. So it looks like the Diamondbacks are going to win this game around 5-1. I'm on the run line again in game 2 here, minus 135. I'm going to keep rolling with it. I'll update the record real quick with that Dodgers run line. If they lose this one, obviously it'll be 5-2 plus 2.95 units since I started doing it. So we'll keep betting it and keep seeing how that sample size grows there. Bobano, do you have anything on this last half? I know you don't like doubleheaders all that much.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this is in terms of the strategy of taking the Dodgers in both games. If you didn't take the Dodgers in the first game, it's going to work out well, I think, for you to maybe take them here in the second game. We know off a loss how good they are. This season, what's almost a 66% win percentage for them off a loss. They've outscored their opponents by more than 2 runs per game off a loss, which fits the run line play very well. And I think it probably does set up to, I'm not going to bet it, but I do lean to what you're saying here with the Dodgers run line, just because it looks like they're going to lose this first game. They've been good off a loss. What can we say about Tyler Anderson? 2.62 ERA overall, 2.14 in his last 3 starts, 2.35 at Dodger Stadium. His ERA 10-1 for the LA Dodgers in Tyler Anderson's 11 home starts this year. And they have outscored the opposition at home with Anderson on the mound, 5.6 runs per game to 2.3 runs per game. That's more than 3 runs per game on average. Dodgers outscoring the opponent with Tyler Anderson on the mound at home here at Dodger Stadium. And when you look at how he's pitched against Arizona, you can't do much better than 2 runs allowed in 20 innings this year in 3 starts against Arizona. So, pretty simple decision here. Dodgers run line or pass, and the price isn't terrible, minus 140.
Yeah, well, I am glad that you feel the same way there, Bobano. Let's wrap up this show now. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Like I said, we said at the top, this end of the regular season baseball can be kind of drab for people, but we appreciate everyone for watching. Let's pay the bills real quick. Shout out to 2 of our sponsors, mybookie.ag. If you use their site, use promo code PUBSPORTS to get a little deposit match in your life right there. So shout out to them. And of course, Prize Picks. Download the app, make an account. It'll ask you for a little promo code. Remember us, Pub Sports. We sent you guys a little deposit match there up to $100. It's pretty fun. You get to bet the props. Sometimes you can really take advantage of the Prize Pick lines because there will be a little off on when it comes to strikeouts. It'll be like a 6.5 on Prize Picks, when in the book it'll be like a 6.5 minus 500, and it'll be like minus 130 on Prize Picks or something like that. So shout out to that. Sharpie's Prize Picks does all those picks as well. His show is great, and he is dominating the prop market. Bobano, for once it seems like you have a shorter card than I do, so I'll let you start off this recap. What is your place for today?
Yeah, I'm going to really narrow it down to just the ones I've got a little bit more on. Washington, Atlanta, over 8.5, even money. Colorado, minus 110. St. Louis, San Diego, over 8. Tampa Bay, minus 135. Detroit, first 5 full game money line split. Angels, minus 120. KC, first 5 full game split. White Sox, run line, first 5 full game split. Seattle team total over. Boston, that's a bit bigger than I thought. Toronto, first 5 full game split, and that's it.
Yeah, that's funny. It is a little bigger than we thought. That's funny.
I added a few. Yeah, I added a few.
Oh,
That's
good.
why.
Hey, here we are. We're back. We're back rolling the volume, boys. Back at it. I tweeted out my action, but here is all the plays again, except in one edition as well, which is nice. Dodgers game 2 run line -135. I am moving on. I'm not going to move on the Red Sox first 5 under, but I'm going to continue talking about my action because that's not one of them. Toronto run line -1.5 +140. Kansas City first 5 money line -110. The first 5 team total over 1.5 with Pete -180. White Sox first 5 -0.5 -115. The Mets Braves parlay at +143. And Pete and I did a parlay together. It was Dodgers game 1 and Toronto team total over 4.5 +165 was the parlay. I tweeted it out as actually, by the way, Dodgers run line not dead, not officially dead. Hold on, because we had a little Austin Barnes 2-run home run, 5-3 now. So we'll see how that goes. But that was the parlay. I didn't make it really official. I didn't bet it, but I tweeted it out. You could make the little run it back here with game 2 run line. I wouldn't hate that as well. But those are all my action for today. 414 and 429 up 4.13 units on the season. We need to finish strong. Let's finish strong. Let's finish the unit year. Finish the unit up units. Finish the year up units. That's hard to say for me for some reason today. I don't know why, but I cannot wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of stuff going on Pub Sports Radio. Everyone knows my Tuesdays are very busy days because here starting in like 2 hours, Gridiron Gamblers, Andy Molitor, Jimmy the Bag. Hold on, let's show these lovely men. I mean, I might as well see. I like just like looking at this knife in the mouth. I gotta ask Andy if he's gonna bring the knife ever, because I do want to see that knife on the show at some point. But shout out to Gridiron Gamblers, 8 p.m. on Tuesdays, talking about the whole NFL card. Jimmy dominating the NFL. Bobana, you're dominating college football and the NFL. Can't wait to see how all that stuff progresses. And you guys are doing your damn thing on the Cappers contest too. So shout out to the Cappers contest show Thursdays at 2 p.m. as well. Bobano, you just did the Hitting the Book show yesterday, because today is Tuesday, so you did it yesterday. So shout out to you. When's the next time we're going to see you?
Friday. It'll be Friday with Betting with the Bag, 11 a.m. Eastern, as we do every Friday. Looking forward to it.
Beautiful. Look at this, Bobano. A nice, tight 45-minute-ish show. We did the damn thing. You were tight, Bobano. So shout out to you. You're concise today. You did it. I was very impressed with your professionalism.
Can be done when we want to. Yeah.
There you go. Thanks everyone for watching. You guys are great. Best chat in the business. 1777. Not applicable. Nut Flush Allen. Jake Burns. Boston Nick Inney for your Jennifer Luchase in here as well. Yes, we do trust the Dodgers in game 2. Damon Santori, the gas station report, Dav Fan, Rocco Rogers, all you guys, Ick Schnizzle, Christopher Commentini. Thank you all for watching. It's a whole lot of fun doing the show. As always, Mr. MDR. We're going to have fun today. We're going to have fun tomorrow. We'll be back here again, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central, for another edition of Say Hey Plays. We'll be here every Monday through Friday, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central. And a lot of stuff cooking up on Pub Sports Radio, so stay tuned. And make sure you guys have your poker accounts or your poker playing abilities dusted off, because it's coming soon. See you guys tomorrow.